This fish has taught me so much about throwing big swim baits. It has had a gigantic effect on the development of the clutch boss. This one drone shot has been studied by me over and over and over again to optimize this bait and really dive into the mind of the fish and tell me why that fish bit in that location. So let's do a crazy in-depth breakdown about why this fish hit, where it was located, and what gear we were using and what setup at the time we got wrong that made us not put this fish in the boat.
So this is kind of a whiteboard breakdown as to where that fish is. So this green is the land. These black lines are contours. So it's a lot steeper over here. This is kind of where that main lake area is, a lot of deep water. And this is kind of the flat where those lines get really far spread apart. And this is the kind of stuff that they're going to congregate on in the fall. They're going to pull up here. All these big gizzard shad are going to pull up and just kind of roam these flats. And schools of fish are going to get up there and wolf pack. So like 3, 4, 5 fish schools are going to get up there and just cruise along this flat hunting for food. If you have a little bit of a laydown or something like that that you can see in this video, that's an obvious stopping point for these fish. It's something that it's really important to target. Now in this video, you kind of see us out here casting this way. If we had it, and it worked, we got the fish to bite, but really thinking about it, we probably should have put a little bit more thought into our boat positioning and positioned the boat on land, or almost on land, so almost to the point where it doesn't float, and made a cast out to the deeper part of the water and brought it back. That probably would have been a little bit more optimal angle to be able to get these fish to bite. But yeah, so the way our boat was positioned, it was out here a little bit in the deeper water, and we did make casts up to it. We hit this several times throughout the day, and this is kind of I don't have any like evidence to back this up, only a couple examples, but it seems like in the fall, these fish will wolf pack with their size of fish. So like 3 to 5 fish schools just up there roaming, and it kind of seems like they group up by size. It seems like if you've got 5 to 7 pounders and a wolf pack, you generally don't have a lot of 1 to 2 pounders cruising around with the big mamas. And conversely, if you've got schools of 2, 3s up there, they don't generally mix. I mean, sometimes you may have one big one kind of cruising behind or something, but generally they kind of seem to group up by size for whatever reason. Yeah, we hit this place up several times throughout the day. Early in the morning, there was big ones up there with it. This one in the video was gigantic. It was a big fish. And then there was a couple casts before that, which we're going to do a video on later, about another really big miss that we had due to us prototyping this bait. Yeah, so in the fall, you're looking for these flats adjacent to a little bit deeper water, and they're getting up there wolf packing, running around. Look for obvious stopping points for these fish to come to. It could be a brush pile, it could be a small rock pile, it could be a big log in the water. You're looking for something to stop these fish for a little bit, and then super high percentage spots. I'm not sure how long they're spending on these spots, but it does seem like they do cycle through these areas a little bit. It's just something to kind of make them stop a little bit, hold for a minute, and kind of just hunt a little bit. And then for whatever reason, they kind of continue on their way. That's at least my theory. If you've had any sort of other experience with that, leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' experiences with this.
So this video took place in the fall, right around the time I was developing the Boss. The Boss is a super thin, very big profile bait that excels in really high pressure situations. So this lake gets a ton of glide bait pressure. These fish out on the lake see glide baits every day. There's banks out there that every single day there's glide baits being thrown down it. Those fish are smart to it. They know what it is. So a big profile bait, a little bit bigger than what the average guy's throwing, and then a lot more natural, thin profile really excels. Think like the squarebill crankbait. When like laydowns are getting a ton of squarebill pressure, you come through with a flat side and you get a lot more bites because those fish, it's putting off a more natural vibration that they're feeling in their lateral line, and it makes them commit better. Same's true when it comes to glide baits. And another kind of strategic thing that this bait has is it's got a little bit of a cup here in the bottom of the chin. And what that does is it adds a little bit of erraticness to the bait. It kind of gives it a little bit of a shimmy when it's going out sideways one time. It'll kind of make the glide cut short just a little bit on the next super wide glide out. It makes it act just a little bit different and a little bit more natural in the water compared to the other glide baits on the market. So this video and how it affected the Boss. So I had the hook hangers in different locations in this video, and we didn't have rotating hook hangers. First things first, that fish would have been in the boat if we had rotating hook hangers. He had it by that back treble hook, and like you can literally see that bait twist in its mouth and pop out. If that hook was able to rotate the way this one does here, we probably would have gotten that fish. It would have rotated, removed some of the leverage for the fish. We probably would have got it. So rotating hook hangers were a huge deal, and this video is the reason why this bait has rotating hook hangers. The next thing, so we were running 3/0 normal treble hooks on this bait. Right now, like thinking about that, I realize how stupid that was. Basically, especially when it comes to really taller profile baits, you want to have your hook points as close to the body of the bait as possible, because if they do kind of mess up and hit it high, you want to still be able to get a treble hook in that kind of bottom part of the jaw there. So shorter shank treble hooks, if these are 2/0 short shank EWG triple grip hooks, if you're still missing fish with these, I recommend going down to a size 1 or a size 2 with this big of a bait. Mostly because they don't see it, they're kind of, and it sounds really weird, but it almost seems like with that super small hook, they almost target that hook more than if it's just something big dangling off of it. For whatever reason, it seems like they'll kind of hone in and hit where that super small treble hook is. But the hook location is different on this bait, not necessarily from this exact video, but same day, couple casts before. We'll go into that video, or we'll go into that fish in a future video. But basically, this treble hook was back about a 1/2 inch further, and same thing with this one. It was a little bit further back on the bait. But due to the location that these fish and these drone shots kind of taught us with reviewing these drone shots, kind of told us like those fish are more apt to hit right around the base of that gill on these baits. So this one is that hook that they're probably going to get mostly. This one you're kind of looking to hit either the corner of the mouth or kind of snag on the outside of the mouth right there. So that's kind of the reason that hook's there and the reason that hook's there. So super just nitty gritty details. I wouldn't have these hook hangers 1/8 of an inch off in any other direction. It's perfect where they are right now. Yeah, that's kind of how this video has really affected the design of this bait. So yeah, like and subscribe for more stuff to come. We're going to do a bunch of these series where we dive super deep into fish catches that I believe has taught me a lot about glide bait fishing, and hopefully transfer this knowledge on to you guys and help you guys get more fish in the boat.